Hey you guys, this is the PunkRC Micro Light controller. It has 16 channels. Each LED channel can be programmed for a different behavior, and there are basically 3 different sets of behaviors that each light can have, and those are selected with your transmitter on the ground. And so what we have here on the unit is we have an LED, and this displays which of your 3 positions that your auxiliary channel's in. This right here is a TV remote sensor, which we'll use with our Sony remote to program it. Any Sony remote will do. It's programmed to Sony. Any remote will do. It's programmed to Sony. This is the beeper that's indicating when you're going through your menus, or when you switch modes, it'll beep at you. And then this is your basically your kind of programming function button here. So when you order one in the mail, this is what you'll get. You'll have one wire that hooks up to your auxiliary channel. It gets its power from here. If you don't want to power your LEDs off your receiver, you can always just cut your red wire and run off a separate battery. Or what you can do, see that little solder tab right above my thumb there? It says power 2 just above it. You can hit a soldering iron up to that and break it, and it will basically disconnect your red wire from the board. And then what you can do is, right above my thumb there's a solder pad with a plus next to it. On the bottom there's a solder pad with a minus. You can solder a battery right up to that, and that way you can run your LEDs right off an external battery pack. Now when you hook up your LED lights, on each of the sides of the boards you have 8 solder pads on top, 8 on bottom. Top is positive, bottom's negative. All the top pads, they're all connected basically right to where your red wire is. And so when you're running wires out to all your different LEDs, you can actually share all your positive wires and then just have your negatives come in to the bottom of the board here. And so each of your LED channels are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, working down to 16 on the bottom right. And so that's what the unit looks like. It's pretty small. It's about 1 inch by 2 inches. It's really lightweight. I know it weighs way less than an ounce. So very minimal on the weight. It weighs probably about as much as, well, probably heavier than a micro servo, but okay. This unit here is the one I've got hooked up to basically do a demo. I've got some just real dim indicator LEDs on here, and I've got this hooked into a radio. It's a Y splitter, and I can run it the 3 different positions here. So when you plug in this one, I'll show you how it works. So basically when you first get your unit and you plug it in, so it'll come up, it'll beep at you, and it'll have a light on it, and that will indicate what switch position you're in. And so that's a good help for adjusting it. You want to be able to go into all 3 positions if possible. Now when you first get the unit, it comes reset. If you ever have to do a hard reset, you basically just hold down this button for a few seconds. There you go. It's now been reset, and all the programming is gone. So if you ever do that, you'll lose all your programming. Okay, here's mine I have hooked up. Let's plug it in right here. Okay, I've got some weird light functions going on here. Let's reset this guy. Yeah, I've got all sorts of cool flash patterns going on there. Okay, so when you get a reset unit, it defaults to all lights on, as you can see here. And then and so see, LED lights are on all the time. Now what we want to do, if we want to the first mode that we put it in is just a all lights on, just kind of debugging mode. This is good if you have your lights programmed to be doing different strobes, but you want to be maybe adjusting them. You just hit that button for a second, and it'll be indicated by this kind of doing this disco thing here. Basically what it's doing is it turns on all your LED lights, and it's really handy for wiring lights. So this is maybe what I'd call your wiring mode or your debugging mode. To get out of your mode, you just hit the button again. It goes back to normal functioning. Now if you want to program the unit, you hold it down until it blinks red. Okay, now as you can see right now, LED number 15 and 16 are lit. Those are the two we're programming here. So what your basic functions are is 1 is on, is what it's doing now. 0 is off, turns them both off. 2 is a very slow alternating blink, basically. 3 is one that's exactly twice as fast. 4 is a slow double flash. 5 is a faster double flash. And 6 is a simultaneous quicker double flash. And then 7 is a slow triple. 8 is a faster triple. And then 9 is a very quick triple. And so let's program this to, let's have that one be on for now. Basically what you do is you select which pair of LEDs you're programming by selecting channel up and channel down. And so as we hit channel up here, you can select which LEDs you're playing with. Now let's do a sample program here. Oh, there's one more function I want to show you, is the speed function. So let's say we have a program to do a flash like that, but let's say we want it to be a little bit quicker. You can use the volume buttons, and it's default set to 15, and it can go up to 25. It can run the program a lot faster, and this applies to every light. So when you increase this or decrease this, it does it to everything. So let's take that back down to 15. 15 is the default speed, and I think it's pretty good. So anyway, let's maybe do a program where let's have these be doing an alternating flash. Let's have these be off. Let's have these doing a quick triple strobe. Let's have maybe those be off. Let's have these be doing a slow double. Maybe let's have those be off, those be off, and those be off. Okay. Now we programmed in all these functions. Let's get out of programming mode here. And so now basically all your LEDs do what you just programmed them to do. Now they're set up in pairs, so you can do different different wingtips or different like opposite LEDs on your plane for different functions. Now if we switch our remote over to our other channel, now these are all still programmed to be on. We didn't even touch these, so you can see that. So let's go back into programming mode. Oop, sorry. There's programming mode right there. Okay, so here's our, let's see, we are on, let's see, so here's a, so we go through, we can see our normal settings. Now let's say in this mode, our first position mode, we want all our lights to be off. So let's go through and hit 0, channel up, 0, channel up, and let's just turn them all off, except for these. Let's have them blink really quick. Those can be our something light, I don't know. Now what we do is let's take our radio and go over to this position over here, and let's program, let's have those be quick blinkers again. Let's have maybe the ones next to them be quick blinkers, and then let's just keep the rest of them on, like maybe landing lights, let's say. I don't know. I mean, it's up to you. I'm trying to go through the functions here and be pretty quick. So when we're done, you see your power button or your reset button. So now, flight mode. So maybe we could have is this is what our lights are doing when we're sitting on the runway. Then when we are flying, maybe we run our switch in this position, we do these lights, and we take them in this position, and that's just like our landing behavior. So as you go through, you get the remote, you program your LEDs a pair at a time, and you do that for each of your 3 positions, and you can get a lot of different functionality of it. You'll find out that, you know, basically your strobes are always strobing, or your wingtip lights are always doing this little flash, or, you know, your landing lights are basically either on or off. And so, you know, it's fairly easy, but anyway, it's a real cool way to get some realism and get your lights to do what you want. When you hook up your LED lights, you don't need resistors. There is a built-in current regulator in here that does 30 milliamps, and it's best to just have 1 LED per channel. You can share channels, but there's kind of some tricks to it. So anyway, that's the PunkRC Micro Programmable Light Controller. And anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. We're going to start selling these. You can buy just the unit. You can also get the remote with it. You can also buy these at Target, Kmart. You basically buy a $5 remote from Walmart and program it to Sony. And then we'll also be selling some LED kits. We've got some scary bright LEDs, look really good in planes, and we'll have some packages up on the web page. You can order one of those as well, and it'll give you a big enough assortment. You can basically do whatever you want. So what I'd suggest is, after you basically wire up all your LED lights and stuff, is maybe get a piece of shrink wrap or something and just shrink wrap over here. Clear would work best. You want to be able to have your remote sensor visible to your remote, and you also want access to your button. But you know, the unit itself is actually fairly waterproof. I don't think you can burn it out by getting it wet. And anyway, that answers hopefully all your questions, and thanks for watching.